giving you a vocational leg up on everyone else. Here's our career Sherpa, Julie Bauke.
I love this topic. The topic is revenge. You know, you've always heard the sayings about revenge. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Its success is the best revenge. Or my favorite quote of all time. Ever notice how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have effed with? That's me. Those are the best revenge. You never seen Gran Torino?
Yes.
Julie Bauke.
Yes,
Tell me that's not a great old man, angry old man movie.
That's
a
great
best.
Old man movie.
It's the best.
Yes, it really is. And it makes you cry.
Clint Eastwood's the best in that one,
that was
too.
good.
Yeah, so it's workplace revenge. And why would you pick this topic?
It just seemed like something that you could really get your teeth into. And when you said, when you were talking about how much don't mess with you, you looked at me directly. So since I am in studio today, I get to see your facial expressions.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want.
What have I done? I'm trying to figure out what I've
done
to you.
I can tell you don't have any, but I have a very specific set of skills. Yeah, well, no, it's. So why would you want to commit revenge in the workplace for what? Give me a circumstance or give me a scenario, a case study, Julie Bauke, of what it is that I would do or you would do that would cause one of us to seek revenge on the other.
What if you took credit for something that I did, or you said something about me that wasn't true that hurt my career, or you got a promotion that I thought I should get. So we all, as humans, try to get even. In a lot of cases, and in most cases, thankfully, it stays between our ears. Mm-hmm. So we fantasize about revenge,
revenge,
but we don't actually act on it, which is a good thing because our jails are already overcrowded. But I don't think there's a person among us who hasn't thought about, man, I should spill that secret, or I can't believe that person, embarrassed me in that meeting, or took that project that I wanted, or. Well,
why? Okay, let's start with that one. You took credit for something I did. Why wouldn't I just walk up to you and go, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think that would be great if we were all trained to be a little more direct and to say,
why not?
I took credit for this. I was just talking to someone last week, a former client of mine, a very high level person who was leaving an organization because one of his primary reasons was because his boss would tell him, well, that's not a good idea. Yeah. And then he'd go do it himself, or he'd take his good idea, take his name off and put the boss's name on the presentation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so you could say, all right, so I could go to that boss and say, hey, that was my idea. Now it's my word against yours. He's the boss. He can have me fired. Mm-hmm. Or you could, take some sort of indirect route. Believe me, I'm not advocating any of this, but for some people, it's easier to try to get revenge anonymously because they don't want to put their job at risk. But that generally backfires. I think generally people know who's behind stuff.
What about this?
All right.
Everybody's got a cell phone. Let's do the first case example, right?
All right.
Let's think through this whole thing. All right. So this person takes credit for a big project. They're being lauded by the boss and everything. So I go to this person and go, hey, what's up? This is my idea. You're taking credit for it. And presumably that person's going, yeah, I just kind of stumbled it, and kind of admit to you that they did. Not like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Right? Okay.
Well, we all came up with it together.
Oh, you didn't. No conversation. Go. Okay. So at which point then, because you're smart and you have a cell phone, you've now recorded the conversations, two-party. You only need one party consent to record a conversation. You then take it to the boss and give them evidence as like, this person is a diabolical person and they don't deserve your trust. I do.
So that can backfire.
Why?
Obviously.
Why?
Because
FBI and DA do that all the time.
We need an impeachment trial for that boss.
Yes, we do.
So then now you've put your boss, the big boss, in a position as to whether to believe you or not, or to believe what
get
they
it
heard,
on tape.
or believe that. But most people aren't going to go, yeah, I stole your idea. They'll hem and haw around it. They'll add in some gray, and then you're in a my word against yours.
Okay.
So that now I've seen it happen where you might go to somebody and they might say, yeah, okay, I'll see what, let me look into it. And that person was on the fence anyway in terms of performance wise. And so they might use it as a reason to get rid of them. Mm-hmm. But in too many cases, I have seen the messenger shot.
Okay. How about this?
Okay.
Why, since it's your idea, the inner workings of Sloan, Julie Bauke, why don't you indirectly sabotage the whole effort? Make sure it doesn't work.
Because that's going to come back on you too.
No, it's not. You got to keep your hands off it.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you can. But what was interesting about this article that we both read was that 88% of tech workers. So remember, they're the ones. So we'd all love to. The easiest way to sabotage is through something that you may not get caught at, or you know more about than somebody else does. 88% of tech workers said that if they got fired or if something happened to damage their employment, they would take revenge in some sort of way in technology to sabotage the company's system
Easy to
in
do.
some way. 88%.
Yeah. So there's a lesson there. Don't mess with the guys who control, right? Why would you screw those guys?
Yeah. So when,
Make
because
your
I've been in
life hell.
organizations where they're letting those people go, and what they'll do is they'll go in and restrict their access.
Right.
Which then, as soon as the IT person knows their access has been restricted, they're like, okay, what's up? They know they're getting,
Getting got.
fired. Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's like I'm looking at two people now. I got Tony Bender, who is our Senior Vice President of AM Operations, and I'm looking at Dave Abbott, who is our technical, our guru who keeps everything running. Listen, Tony is nothing but a spineless, mealy-mouse pencil pusher who doesn't do a damn thing around here except to collect a six-figure salary and tell other people best practices that he steals from other people. Doesn't do a lot, right? But on the other hand, our engineer, this is the guy who could put Easter eggs in all the equipment to make sure that nothing fires on time, that EAS messages are incorrect, that swear words are broadcast over the radio station. That's the guy who can really trip you up. Now, Tony Bender thinks he has all the power, but the guy who controls everything behind the scenes, that's the guy that has the power.
I think Dave
you got to know where the power is.
Dave, the engineer, needs a raise, obviously. Dave, you want me to take that?
He knows what's up. I mean, that's the guy I would not mess with.
Yeah,
that's the guy. But
exactly.
everyone kisses Tony Bender's ass and, oh, Tony, you're the greatest. You're so handsome. You're so smart. Your breath doesn't smell. All those things that they tell him on a daily basis. Yes, correct.
I'll tell you if he's handsome.
Exactly. So that's, you got to know you got to know the right people. You got to know who stirs the drink. No, but and you could kill yourself with revenge, right? You could kill yourself with miserable thoughts of like, man, I'm going to really screw this person over. Does it really help you?
No. In fact, I think it's when you talk to people who have done something, and I have talked to people who, whether it's a boyfriend or girlfriend or sibling or someone who did them wrong, they did something. Maybe they didn't even get caught. They did it anonymously to level the playing field, to even it out. And it just didn't, maybe it felt good for a minute, but it just didn't feel good in the long run. It's really about, in our mind, what's fair and what's unfair.
No, let me tell you the truth here, Julie. It feels so good. When you can get back and you just let it sit. And I believe that, you know what? Beware the quiet guy. Because that's a guy. You screw him over, just like sit there. Yeah, it may not be soon, but I'm going to get you.
Yes,
I'm going to pick my. And believe me, when it happens and I've done it, I don't feel bad at all.
That's right.
It's funny.
Right.
It's funny.
Right, because you distance yourself from the event. They think it's less like it, excuse me, to be you.
Yeah.
And but it's like anything, it as I always say, when you do something like that, it says more about you than it does anybody else. And we all look to correct unfairness, but you have to believe that karma comes back around and slaps him upside the head eventually.
Well, I'll tell you another Tony Bender story. This is Tony Bender. Tony Bender, right? Tony's like, there's some fee or something he was supposed to get. I didn't wind up getting. It was a few $100s. Oh, a pretty good chunk of money. It's not going to change your life, but it's a tight point. So, honestly, he's like, well, okay, whatever. I said, that's fine. Let it go. Now I know where Tony lives. And so what I did is you get all you need is some liquid, you need grass killer. That's ortho stuff that they sell. So you grab his house like on a weekend or night, no one's around, whatever. And you find, the gas meter on the side of the house. Okay. So what you do is then you pour a line of the grass killer from where the meter is and probably a good 10-foot stretch on the grass somewhere. So he freaks out after about 2 weeks because he's forgotten he screwed me over and he notices his grass is done, this big patch of like strip of grass. Well, guess what? Oh my God. The gas line ruptured and my house underground. So this dummy, he has to hire someone to come and dig the gas line out to fix it. And it cost him $7,000 to fix a gas line that wasn't broken in the first place. So at the end of the day, who won?
I really don't.
Do I hate myself?
Okay, so do you?
No, I think it's the greatest story ever.
That is way too much detail to be false.
This is hypothetical. This is hypothetical. I really didn't do that because I love Tony. I would never ever do anything like. But I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, I just again, it's something that could have happened.
So Tony right now is thinking about who do I know that could cover the 9 to 12 shift from tomorrow on.
And no, he's not because you know what he's doing. He's going. Man, over a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Imagine if I fired this guy.
Ooh, yeah, you're pretty safe.
I got job
fear.
forever
It's
here.
that fear
I got a
thing.
job
You
forever.
want- yeah.
I could phone it in like Willie now. It'd be fantastic. Julie Bauke's our career Sherpa on Sloan 700 WLW and talking about revenge in the workplace because we probably all dreamed of that too. Even if something as stupid as I know somebody keeps eating my sandwich.
Right, yes. I don't get that. Why
That's
is that
horrible.
even a thing? Why would you, first of all, why
get
do you
it.
want to eat somebody else's sandwich? Because yuck. I mean, it could be their kitchen could be dirty. The food could be gross.
Yes.
You never know if they lick their bread before they put it together.
Right. And I don't know what sanitary conditions you have.
Right.
I don't know what you put in the sandwich. I'm not talking about bad like toenail clippings
Right.
or something, but I'm talking about just
Maybe your cat
nasty.
walked over your sandwich.
Yeah. Like I don't know what you like. I don't like. I got to know where it's coming from. If I go to Subway, I got to watch the guy make the sandwich.
Right. I don't understand why anybody would do that, but I know that is something people do. They'll steal stuff out of the refrigerator.
Right.
Or they'll
That I
steal
never
your
got.
pens.
I've got a story about that, a revenge story, but I can't tell it on the air.
Wow, you've already implicated
I'll say-
yourself.
No,
pretty
it wasn't me
severely.
either.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. It
Oh,
wasn't me
I
either.
bet. Just knowing how your brain works after all this time, I think somebody probably put
Wasn't
something
me.
in someone's food.
Now, I heard a story, too, and this is the actual secrets of the big one, that Ken Brew, when he comes, he'll be filling for Willie today. He sits at Seg's desk, and he'll have like a bagel with, everything bagel or whatever, and the seeds and Seg throws a temper tantrum because Ken Brew sits at his desk. What kind of revenge, how should that situation be addressed in the workplace? That Seg gets angry if someone sits at his desk.
Wow.
Is Ken Brew a slob, or is Seg just really territorial?
Yeah. So in that case, I would say, Ken Brew, if you're going to sit in Seg's chair, you need to leave it in as pristine condition as you found it when you first put your buns on the chair.
And Seg throws a serious temper tantrum, Julie. It's
Does
not
he?
it's not like, oh man, why is he? Oh, he got crumbs. I mean, he goes violent.
Brew, just clean up after yourself, for God's sake.
But even times he doesn't make a mess. He just people that he knows is like his favorite
Does he
pen
know?
is missing,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's one of those.
So now
those
people
two.
just mess with him, don't they? Like move his pen and move his stuff.
I would never do that, Julie
No.
Buck. I would never. Should you ever comply? Should you ever and let's say there's a employee, and speaking of revenge, that is just not very well liked, but also just continually is a pain in the butt to work with. And you go, God, I don't know what this person brings. Should you conspire to get that person fired? Wow, you don't know the answer to this?
I always think, first thing I always think about is what would I do? Not that makes it right, but I think, you run it through your own filter.
What would you do?
Kind of depends. If the person is just kind of a bumbler and just contributing at a very minimum level,
Matt
but
Reese.
seems to have some sort of purpose, no. But if the person is continually damaging,
See, I like
other
Matt
people,
Reese. He's incompetent, but we
Yeah.
all like it. It's different. It's not like,
Yeah.
he's incompetent, he's a
Maybe
bad
someone's
person.
like a toxic. Let's say someone's toxic.
All right, toxic.
Yeah, they are constantly being passive aggressive, undermining everybody else, talking poorly about everybody else, trying to get everybody else in trouble. Yeah, I think you do have to
Spending
kinda
the entire
all
time
come
gossiping.
together. Yeah. Are we talking about Matt Reese?
No.
Are we talking about Jimmy? Who are we
Well,
talking about?
no. I'm just saying there's that person in the workplace.
Oh
that-
yeah,
It's like they spend their.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what you've got to do is put your facts together, put your examples together, and say this person is undermining the rest of our ability to get the work done, and therefore, Mr. Boss, he's keeping you from looking good.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time.
so,
Is there something
yeah.
you can do about this?
There are absolutely people like that in the workplace. We've all worked with at least one.
But back to your initial point, though, if you get the boss involved, are they going to hate you? Are they going to hold it against you because maybe this person he thinks is productive, or it's their, they have, their pet or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And should I take those problems to the boss? If someone's standing around talking all the time and is not getting anything done and not holding their end of the couch up, carrying it up the stairs. Should you be the one confronting them? Should your supervisor be? And if you go and narc on them, doesn't that make it worse for you?
It can. I mean, it depends on, first of all, you don't know what the relationship is between that person and the boss. They could be doing exactly what the boss wants them to do. There can be some sort of friendship where the boss doesn't want to confront them. If it impacts your ability to get your work done, I do think you have to speak up.
Okay. All right. I because now I can't get my work done because
Right.
this person is.
Yeah.
But should
And
you
be
address
very
that with the
careful.
person? Yeah, I would just
Always
address it to the
with
person.
first. I mean, you
Okay.
should, but for some reason, we are not very good at having those conversations. People get their feelings hurt. People feel like you don't like me. I mean, and it just starts to mess up the work environment. But it's always better, no matter what the issue is, to bring it to the person in a non-accusatory way, non-emotional way, and point it out. we talk about what if someone smells bad? What if this? What if that? You know,
Right,
you're always
right.
going to be better off. Just like I would rather have someone tell me I have spinach in my teeth than walk around with spinach in my teeth all day.
But you get your work friend to tell you that.
Yeah, you want somebody to tell you that.
What do you do at revenge? I don't know if it's a revenge story. What about the guy at work, the person at work that has horrible, 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 horrible personal hygiene?
Yeah.
What do you do with that? Do you go to the boss with that one, or do you just straighten them out yourself?
You know, I would probably, because you don't know, it could be a medicine they're on, it could be a health condition. I think talking to human resources would be a good start. If you don't have HR, I think it's harder than talk to the boss, because you always you want to understand. You don't want to say, "My God, you stink," or worse, put a roll of deodorant on their desk, or some breath mints. I think that's
The last place I worked, we had a guy
embarrassing.
like we pinned him down and sprayed Lysol on him. You think he got the
Oh,
message?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Probably can't get away with that anymore,
Oh,
can you?
no, you probably can't.
All
It's
right.
just not nice.
So when it comes to
Be nice.
revenge, again, you better be really, really good at it, like me.
Living well is the best revenge.
Like mayhem. No,
Like
living well is
mayhem.
not. No,
Yes, it
Julie,
is.
that is the stupidest, most passive-aggressive,
No.
wishy-washy crap. Just let it go, let it roll off.
No,
And then
no.
this is why you die when you're 61, because you pen all this stuff and you didn't get it out of you. You got to get, it's toxic. You got to
let
get it
go,
out,
but
Jerry.
Getting out of you, it depends on what
You got to get it
I
out.
say let
Try
it
the
go.
gas on the lawn
it
thing.
go.
No, there's no. I am not a let it go person.
Oh, thank you.
This
for the
will
warning.
not end.
You made direct eye contact when you said that as well. So
I'm
now
not.
I'm wondering what have
I'm not a
done
let it go kind of
to
person.
make you
I'm not
mad?
really
What
like,
have I
each his
done?
own. It's so fine. He's a jerk. My wife's like that, but
Yeah,
I'm
she's
the-
probably a lot healthier than you are. She's gonna. I know.
Oh, there's
she's
no
gonna
question.
Live longer.
I'll be dead in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
yeah. She'll be looking for her,
Yeah,
her
yeah.
next trophy husband.
Yeah, and then Tony Bender will be by someone else. Anyway, Julie Bauke, our career Sherpa, she is a brilliant podcaster. She interviews movers and shakers in the Cincinnati business community about things like this.
Exactly.
All right.
And outside of the Cincinnati business community.
And even out there, too. So, and the name of the podcast at iHeartRadio.
The Evolved Career.
The Evolved Career is the name of the podcast with our friend Julie Bauke, the Bauke Group, Bauke. She's a job and career coach.